Hello, I'm Robert. Now about 15 years ago, I was probably sat where you are now at school or college. But today I'm representing an organisation called the Young Generation Network, which is all about engaging with and inspiring the next generation into the world of work or further academic study. And I'm here today to offer a young presenters competition to those in Key Stage 4 and 5, or equivalent if you're in an apprenticeship or similar, across West Cumbria. So, what do you have to do to get involved with this young presenters competition? Well, stage 1 is submitting what you want to talk about. So you need to propose a presentation on any topic directly related to energy. That could be technical, social, or a personal thought. Now, this is open to whatever you wish to present about, but 3 questions you might want to think about, so any one of these 3 you could potentially talk about, is how will we power the next generation of transport? So as we know, petrol, fossil fuels isn't necessarily potentially the right way to go. What could we do? What will the energy mix look like in 2050? Again, climate change and things, what are we going to do? Welcome hearing your thoughts on that. Will society's attitude towards energy have to change if we are to meet our climate change targets? It's an interesting one. So there are 3 potential questions you might wish to answer, any one of those 3, but really it's open to you to offer to talk about any topic energy related. And at this stage you're submitting what you would wish to talk about if you got the actual presentation final. So, why would you want to apply? Well, this is brilliant if you're going off to university or thinking of that in terms of UCAS forms and all that side of things. Also, personal skills of actually learning presenting in front of people and meeting employers around West Cumbria. But also, there are some really quite great prizes up for grabs in this competition. Now, these include from Sellafield Limited, offering a week's tailored work experience within their engineering division, after which the individual will receive a minimum of 3 months further mentoring support. Wood Nuclear are offering the winning student a 3-day placement in their offices in Westlake, just outside Whitehaven. An individual will get the chance to see how the real world of business operates and how leaders work together to make vital decisions. And then National Nuclear Laboratory offering a sum of up to £100 to support an individual either in funding a course or some form of educational books or something else which you could use this funding for to further your academic study or make you more employable. So that's the prizes if you were to actually win the presenters competition, as well as being very beneficial to actually put on your CV that you have done such a thing. You could win one of these prizes. So, what do you have to do then to apply? I've told you kind of the context of how you actually get into the applying situation and what the prizes are, but how do you actually do it? So, let's reiterate, it's open to those in Key Stage 4 and 5 or equivalent in West Cumbria. And you need to start off by submitting what you wish to talk about should you get to the final. This is a summary of the topic really, and this can be in one of 3 formats. Either a back of a book summary, this is up to 200 words, so think, when you pick up a novel or something, on the back you've got a summary of what the actual contents of the book, should you read it all, would be. A video, up to 3 minutes, or an A3 poster. Now, you can choose any of these 3 forms. It's whichever one you feel you can best interact with the judging panel to select you to present at the actual presenters competition final evening. And you need to submit your application, one of those 3 formats, plus the application form to the email address on the bottom of that screen by Sunday the 12th of January at midnight. The judging panel will then go away and deliberate all the different applications, and they will select the best applications and invite them to come to the final, which is on the 30th of January at Lakes College, just outside of Workington. So let's go through some examples of what these submissions might look like. Well, to answer that first question, should you choose one of those three questions, how will we power the next generation of transport? Well, here we see the sort of back of a book summary about an idea, which is the coated particle fuels, the gobstoppers of the nuclear world. So I'm not going to leave it on the screen for you to read now, but you can pause it and read it at your own leisure. But this is an example of what you might write to entice the judges to think you should be selected to present on the final evening. And then another idea here, nuclear energy capture. One man's waste is another man's power. Again, just another way of potentially selling what you wish to present about. This is an example of a poster. Again, something eye-catching. Judging panel see and they think, yes, that's the sort of topic we want to invite to the final. Or videos. Here we have two videos. In the first one, we see Henry isn't actually on the screen or talking himself at all. He's just using publicly available photos, videos and voiceover to make the submission of what he would talk about. In the second one, we see Alan actually sat there talking to us, like I'm talking to you, about what he would present about should he get to the final.
Change to the sea around us, change to the atmosphere above, leading in turn to change in the world's climate, which could alter the way we live in the most fundamental way of all. It's comparable in its implications to the discovery of how to split the atom. Indeed, its results could be even more far-reaching.
One of my most hated phrases is, but we've always done it that way. It's quite possibly the laziest non-reason for doing anything that exists. Yet, when it comes to talking about nuclear energy, it is the closest thing I can think of that explains how we portray ourselves to our ultimate customers, electricity bill payers. For years, the mantra in nuclear energy has been to keep our heads down based on a culture that was built when nuclear energy was explicitly linked to military programs in the Cold War. But we've moved on from the Cold War, and yet still hide behind layers of pseudo-secrecy. There are, of course, some obvious advantages to this, like not least security of nuclear sites. But I believe it is at the root of nuclear energy's inability to make a serious contribution to the decarbonisation of the world economy.
Now those are just both snippets of the full videos. Obviously, as I said earlier on, up to 3 minutes you can submit in your video. So there are the three opportunities: back of a book, poster or video, and submitting that to the email address that we discussed on a few moments ago in this video. So, should you get through the application process form, or should the judging panel then select you to present at the final on the 30th of January at Ladies College, what actually happens on that night? Well, after an introductory talk, so a guest speaker will come in and open the evening. After that, all the finalists will be invited to speak for 5 minutes on the topic that they have already presented in their application. Now, you can use any material from your actual application, so you can use a snippet from your video, or you could have your poster up and talk around the poster for 5 minutes. Whatever you feel best to interact with the judging panel and passionately get across the topic that you submitted about. After the finalists have all spoken, the judging panel will then go away and deliberate, and they will then select the winner, and obviously we've seen before what some of the prizes are going to be on that night. So really, hopefully that's taken a whistle-stop tour of how to apply, back of a book, video or poster, when to apply by Sunday the 12th of November, and then what happens on the 30th of January, Ladies College, the actual presentation evening. That's all on that screen as well, and just to remind you, submissions are to that email address along with the application form. If you haven't got one from your teachers or lecturers, then please do email that email address and we will send you an application form. So all I've got to say now is I wish you very best of luck in applying. I do hope that you feel you can apply, and if you've got any questions, please do speak to your teachers or lecturers or email the email address on the screen now. I look forward very much to hopefully receiving your application and then meeting you on the 30th of January. Thank you very much for listening.